Britain. Helping the nation save more energy. And helping you save on your bills too. Not bad for something that's at the back of your cupboard. Smart meters. Join the quiet revolution.
Unbeatable.
And how about that for a shot? What a sensational comeback.
Unmissable.
Oh, it's in the back of the net.
EFL on Quest. Saturday at 9 on Quest or stream on Discovery Plus.
First attempt.
Oh, he slotted it right in!
All right, 1-0.
Football at Home with Screwfix, proud partner of the EFL.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year has been like no other. The EFL and Carabao would like to use today's platform to commemorate and recognise the huge contributions and sacrifices that NHS staff and key workers have made during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today is a landmark occasion, and it's in part due to the efforts of our wonderful NHS that we are all here today. Your courage, bravery, dedication and spirit throughout the pandemic has been truly remarkable, and for that we would like to say thank you, NHS. Hello and welcome to our live coverage of the Carabao Cup final of 2021 from sunny Wembley Stadium. Those Tottenham supporters are hoping their side can bring silverware to their bit of North London. Manchester City's dreams of a quadruple withered here in this stadium last weekend when they lost to Chelsea in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and it is London opposition for Pep Guardiola's side again. What a week it has been, what a footballing week, what a joy to put politicking aside and look forward to a final really to savour, and what a joy to have supporters in the stadium. 8,000 inside Wembley for this final, and a chance to remember that whilst this week we have been reminded that the football industry may on occasion leave you cold, the game never does. This should be a terrific final. Well, for 2 years, of course, Tottenham and their supporters called Wembley home when their new stadium was being completed, but it's their first final under the famous arch since losing in this competition 6 years ago to Chelsea, and they are managed today by 29-year-old Ryan Mason, appointed as interim manager only on Monday after Spurs sacked Jose Mourinho. Mason is, by a distance, the youngest man ever to take charge of a Premier League side, and if they win, he will be bringing home Spurs' first silverware in 13 years. But Manchester City, a some opponent looking to equal 2 Liverpool records. If City win today, they've won this cup for 4 consecutive seasons and would also join Liverpool as the League Cup's most successful club with 8 wins. It could be the 27th trophy of Guardiola's managerial career. But here comes the man in the opposite dugout. What a moment for Ryan Mason to lead out Tottenham Hotspur Carabao Cup finalists in 2021, less than a week into his managerial career. Delighted to have Matthew Upson alongside me for this one. Matt, that's an extraordinary tale in itself, whatever happens today to Spurs.
Well, what must that feel like for Ryan Mason to walk Tottenham Hotspur out at Wembley in your second game in charge as manager? A fantastic feeling for him, and I'm sure the players will want to respond to him positively.
And of course, Guardiola has seen it, done it, but lost here only 8 days ago to Chelsea in the semi-final of the other domestic cup competition. The FA Cup has eluded Manchester City on this occasion. They have a Champions League semi-final first leg in Paris on Wednesday against Mauricio Pochettino's Paris Saint-Germain. Will they go there as League Cup winners? It is a glorious afternoon in North London and a terrific final ahead to look forward to. And it is great, Matt, isn't it? Only 8,000 in a stadium which hosts 85,000. We'll come back to that because, of always, before an occasion like this, it is time for the national anthem, which is performed today by the NHS choir, as we remember the incredible work done by them over the last 12 months. Well, we hope that in 12 months' time, when the Carabao Cup reaches its final, we will have the more usual
pre-match protocols of VIP presentations and a singer on a podium and all the rest of it, but this is an unusual final. Never before have we had a 29-year-old in charge of one of the sides. So Pep Guardiola makes 8 changes at Wembley last weekend and lost today. He makes 6 changes from the side which won in midweek at Aston Villa. This is how they shape up, but Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez and Foden all in form, all start. Fernandinho starts. He's won this competition 5 times, Fernandinho. Well, Ryan Mason won on his senior managerial debut on Wednesday against Southampton. Today he makes 2 changes. This is the Tottenham lineup, and the big news is that Harry Kane is fit after an ankle issue. He comes in. Gareth Bale drops to the substitutes bench, and the other change is that Harry Winks replaces Tanguy Ndombele. Well, Matt Upson, it's still an unusual occasion, but we're getting back to some kind of normality. And of course, there's nothing more normal than seeing Manchester City in the final of the Carabao Cup.
Well, Fernandinho must put it on his calendar every year, the amount of times he's involved in this cup final. And looking at their team, they want to win this, don't they? They've gone strong, they've gone big. Pep Guardiola will not want to lose here again, the second weekend in a row, and I'm sure that's his intent today.
Well, Ryan Mason quietly taking it all in. He is the interim manager until the end of the season, and there is still so much to play for Spurs. Not only could they lift today their first silverware since he was 16 years old, but they could still, of course, qualify for next season's Champions League. We shall see. There is a lot on Ryan Mason's to-do list, and his, as always. I just wonder whether that semi-final defeat to Chelsea in the FA Cup 8 days ago has influenced Pep Guardiola's team selection today. It's a stronger side for the final today than many expected, and a little puff of the cheeks from Guardiola as the two sides change ends after our referee Paul Tierney had conducted the coin toss. And Manchester City are wearing their home strip of the sky blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks, and Tottenham Hotspur in this change strip of a deep green with orange flashes. 61 years old, this competition. Manchester City have won it 7 times. Tottenham Hotspur have won it 4 times. Who will win it today? Paul Tierney, the referee, will get us underway, and of course when he does, the message will resound again from English football that there is no room for discrimination of any kind in our game. That is the hope. Unfortunately, recent events have shown that there is still work to be done before that task is complete. The 2021 Carabao Cup final under sunny North London Wembley skies, with 8,000 supporters in the ground, with Manchester City's trophy hunt continuing against Tottenham Hotspur. The players of both sides take a knee. The 2021 Carabao Cup final is underway, with Manchester City from right to left in the first 45 minutes against Tottenham Hotspur under new management. Matt Upson, the lineups make the mouth water.
They really do. The players involved, when you look at Kane, De Bruyne, both a doubt for this game. Foden starting. It's a fantastic spectacle, and hopefully the football will follow.
It's going to be a throw-in to Manchester City. We can certainly talk about Manchester City's fluidity up front. Kevin De Bruyne can play as a false 9, he can play in the middle 3, he can play wide in the front 3. The most important thing for Manchester City is that you just let him play.
Absolutely. Such a key player. Nobody can do what he does in that squad. But looking at the team now, it's very difficult for a centre-back. I look at Alderweireld and Dyer. Where do I go? Who do I mark? Sometimes that's the worst thing, playing centre-back. You just want to know what you're up against. You have your task for the afternoon and you get on with it. They've got a very different challenge here this afternoon.
It's a free kick to Manchester City, taken by Gundogan to Fernandinho. Fernandinho rolling the ball away to Kyle Walker. Walker sending it up the line for Riyad Mahrez. Finds Fernandinho wearing the captain's armband for Manchester City. João Cancelo curls it too high for Kevin De Bruyne. The opening minutes of any game of this magnitude, so important that you get an early feel your way into the game.
Definitely, and I'm sure Pep Guardiola is too. Very animated on the touchline as always, but wanting his Man City side. I think with the team he's picked, he'll want them to set their stall out. He'll want to really go after Tottenham in this opening quarter of the game.
It's a João Cancelo header, which Foden battles for. Højbjerg kept it away from him. And Stefan is the Manchester City goalkeeper today. It's a big day for him, returning to Wembley 8 days on, when he was at fault for the Chelsea goal in the semi-final. It wasn't an absolute howler, but it was he came for a ball he probably wasn't going to get and couldn't get back.
No, it's a mistake he wouldn't have wanted to make. He's done well to keep the jersey, but he's just in that little patch of sunshine as well on the pitch. He's got the sun in his eyes for the whole of the first half at least.
Lucas Moura just beaten to it as Aymeric Laporte spins it forward. Toby Alderweireld away, and that's going to be a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. Well, they do have this Champions League semi-final in midweek, but Pep Guardiola and Manchester City have always taken this competition very, very seriously, and Kevin De Bruyne starting the game is a signal of intent. Here's Son Heung-min for Tottenham Hotspur, and that's given away to Raheem Sterling, and Foden's to his right-hand side. De Bruyne steaming forward. There's a very good covering challenge by Serge Aurier.
Just surprised me with Sterling there, didn't really commit. Aurier just slowed up and allowed the tackle to come back, which he did time brilliantly. You have to say it's a difficult one to do just in the box. He got a toe on it, Aurier, but Sterling definitely gave him the opportunity to tackle.
Well, Son inadvertently played Sterling in, and Aurier was very happy to get a glancing touch on it.
You just worry about the confidence that Sterling has at the moment. He's admitted himself he's not had his strongest season. And that little opportunity there is a big chance for him. You normally see him really drive at the heart of the Tottenham team and probably try and commit Toby Alderweireld at the time, but he just slowed up and allowed Aurier to get back in.
Kane's ankles were a topic of debate all week. He's made it, and what we don't know is how big a risk Spurs are taking by starting with Harry Kane, if any. Ruben Dias, Fernandinho. Here's Kyle Walker, Riyad Mahrez ahead of him, Eric Dyer covering. We'll see that behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, I think Mahrez just wanted it a little bit wider. It started to move wide and Walker played a straighter pass, a little bit narrower, which Mahrez wasn't along the same wavelength. I think it was Alderweireld or Dyer just drifted across and tidied up.
Here's Harry Winks.
It's very much a 4-4-2 City when they're out of possession, isn't it? And you look at the team, De Bruyne and Foden go and press high. The midfield four then drop in, Sterling and Mahrez wide of the four.
Clipped forward by Alderweireld, headed away by Aymeric Laporte. Here is Gundogan. Manchester City have enjoyed or edged the possession so far, but you expect that. João Cancelo. Nice little turn away from Hotspur, playing in Raheem Sterling, getting in behind Aurier. Great feet from Sterling. Tries to take on Aurier again, and it just flicked off Foden and wide as Raheem Sterling twisted the Spurs defender this way and that.
Well, it's just a little sample, isn't it, of the movement. Aurier just loses that run off Sterling. It's a brilliantly timed run. Lovely play from Cancelo. Brilliant chop, as we know Sterling does, but he had a little split second there just to cut it back. I think it was Gundogan just arriving on the edge of the 18-yard box. He opted to keep it. Perhaps that was the right choice because Højbjerg had dropped into a really good position, but such sharp play from Manchester City in those wide areas.
Strong challenge from João Cancelo. And here's Foden charging it down from Alderweireld. De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling charging forward. Fernandinho clipped delicately back into Foden. This is dropping to Riyad Mahrez. Walker, Mahrez. Sterling. Goal kick. Manchester City beginning to flex their muscles.
There's a clash of heads with Sterling, Alderweireld, but Foden so sharp. He's in great form at the moment, Phil Foden. Lovely piece of play, gets his head up, plays it simple in the end, but then drifts one into the back post. It's good defending from Toby Alderweireld. Lovely run, lovely cross. All first time, just the patience in and around that 18-yard box from City. They don't rush it, they've got the quality in this team, and eventually it comes back in, and it's decent defending from Alderweireld. Just gets his body in there, doesn't allow the free header from Sterling.
And both are okay after that little clash of heads.
They're popping up all over though, aren't they, that City front four. You don't know who's going to be in the box, whether it's De Bruyne, Sterling, Foden, Mahrez.
It's a testament to the man on the ball now, Phil Foden, that when he's in the starting 11, you know that it's a game Pep very much wants to win.
Well, that's so much as his growth at that football club in the last, probably you have to say 6 months even, that short. He's just really gone on another level.
Winks for stretching, couldn't cut it out. Gundogan, Foden, Sterling. That's a lovely turn by Sterling. Smuggled away from him by Serge Aurier, who has won Tottenham a throw-in. The tide is beginning to flow in City's favour in this final. He's 2 or 3 years younger than some of his players, Ryan Mason.
Didn't look best pleased, Ryan Mason, at the moment. I'm not sure about Tottenham's start. It's been a little bit standoffish. I think if you allow the amount of time and space that Manchester City have had, they're going to exploit it. They've got some outstanding players in the team, such creativity. I think he'll be wanting his players to get a little bit more on the front foot.
Fernandinho. It's a test for Reguilon as Riyad Mahrez controls, and that's a good strong challenge by Reguilon. He's claiming it should be a goal kick, but it's not. It's a corner to Manchester City. Four for City inside the Tottenham penalty area. Only Son has really stayed up the pitch for Spurs. Hugo Lloris on his toes and getting a touch on it. Sterling inside Reguilon. Needs to be careful, Reguilon. Well covered by Lucas Moura. That's very good play by Lucas Moura. Got himself between Sterling and the ball. Said, you will not pass. Goal kick to Spurs.
Well, one thing's for sure, both Spurs fullbacks are going to have their hands full this afternoon already. Reguilon, Aurier, the one-on-ones they're going to have with Mahrez, Sterling, just their lightning quick players, great shift of direction. Got to be very difficult. You don't commit a foul, especially in the 18-yard box.
Hugo Lloris with a booming goal kick away downfield, won by Cancelo. That's Fernandinho. Walker to Riyad Mahrez. Fernandinho. Mahrez, who's found a vein of form himself of late, almost squeezed it into Kevin De Bruyne.
Kyle Walker is like a steam train, isn't he? Running on the inside this time, doesn't go around the ball, poses a different question, just allows that little run and ball through to De Bruyne. Just a bit too much pace on it.
Feels like quite a long time since Spurs had the ball inside City territory. Here's Gundogan. Sterling. There's that little turn again, finding De Bruyne, who was onside, and it's a corner kick again off Hotspur this time.
Well, they keep playing out from the back. Tottenham very short into the box, but it's not working for them. The press is so high from Manchester City, and they've not got the quality to play through the midfield at the moment. Højbjerg, Winks are not getting on the ball at all. It's just going straight back to Manchester City.
And De Bruyne is going to take this one. In towards the near post, where it was thied away by Højbjerg. Foden from the throw-in, Sterling on the turn, great block. Fantastic block by Alderweireld. Mahrez, Fernandinho. Mahrez. Well, Spurs are clinging on a little bit at the moment. João Cancelo. A City probe every aspect and angle of Tottenham's formation, looking for weaknesses. Here's Fernandinho. Mahrez. Clip towards Sterling. I don't think, if he got a shout from João Cancelo, he didn't hear it.
Well, he's
Great block
indicating
here, though.
Yeah, he's indicating that he didn't hear it, but this was the bright piece of play from Foden. Lovely run, touch, and that's Eric Dyer just staying big. Gets his hands behind his back, which you have to do nowadays if that ball can flick up, if your arm's in an unusual position, but really good block from Dyer, very important.
Yeah, it was Eric Dyer, not Alderweireld. And Alderweireld, the Belgian, kind of lunged at it, but it was Dyer who actually blocked it.
So quick, wasn't it, the thinking from Phil Foden. Lovely move, quick throw in down the side. Really typifies how Manchester City have started this match.
The City enjoying almost 3/4 of the possession so far in the first 15 minutes of the game. Here's Son. Couldn't control it.
I mean, that must have been the first touch in their half by a Tottenham player for some time, and it was just one touch from Son. Really struggling to get to grips with the quality Manchester City is showing at the moment.
Walker. Foden turning away from Lo Celso and is taken out by Reguilon. Looks like on this occasion the Spurs left-back is going to avoid a yellow card. I don't think he'd get away with it twice.
He doesn't need a yellow card this early in the game either. He's done well to get away without a yellow. It's a very cynical foul. Lovely shift of body weight initially from Foden to go past Lo Celso. And that, for me, he's done very well, Reguilón, just to get a ticking off.
City free kick. Wait for the whistle, says referee Paul Tierney. "20 years old. It's going to be Kevin De Bruyne to deliver. Nice little touch from Lo Celso into Son Heung-min. Here's Giovanni Lo Celso. It's a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. The foul by the former Tottenham man, Kyle Walker. That was lovely, actually. The Tottenham fans who are over on that side of the ground to the right of the players' tunnel as we look at it, as Kyle Walker fouled his man there, all got to their feet and gave him some right stick as one of their old players. I've missed that.
I bet the players have missed it. I'm sure they've really missed getting a bit of stick from the supporters every now and then.
I think there are some players whose performance levels have gone up without fans, and some players who it's gone the other way.
For sure.
Well, it's no bad thing for Spurs to get a feel of the football, because they've not had a lot of it over the last 6, 7, 8 minutes.
Just look at the pressure, though, from Manchester City. Tottenham are going to have to play really well, which they have done there, really drawn them in and found the pass.
They have, and Reguilón comes forward and finds Harry Kane, and Winks spins it away to Serge Aurier, and Aurier has options in the box. It's a great ball as well, which was headed behind for a Spurs corner by Ruben Dias, and that's the noise of Tottenham Hotspur fans you can hear.
Well, it's just great to hear the fans at the right moment in this game. You know, the anticipation you get when there's a good passage of play and they know the ball's going to get delivered. The atmosphere just kicks on a little bit, and Aurier certainly delivered with that cross. It was a lovely ball into the box.
So, Tottenham's first corner kick of the game. 19 minutes played of the final. First chance for Spurs to get real bodies inside that City penalty area. Harry Kane is there, Moura is there, Højbjerg is there. It's Stefan who got a big right fist to it, but it's retrieved by Giovanni Lo Celso. Winks looking for the angle. Here's Son. And Alderweireld's shot wasn't particularly sweetly struck. And Stefan correctly judged it was heading wide.
There's a bit of time and space for him. I can see why he gets his head up, but never fancied him to score.
But that's what Spurs needed, just a little bit of possession, bit of play at the other end of the pitch, half a side of City's goal, and now the game resets into its pretty much default position, which is Spurs defending, City attacking. Gundogan. Ruben Dias. That's De Bruyne. Riyad Mahrez, well played Winks. And he was fouled by Mahrez, which is the icing on the cake for Harry Winks. It's a Spurs free kick.
It's an important interception from Harry Winks. De Bruyne was on his bike. If Mahrez could have got to that ball, he would have slipped the run in.
Alderweireld, Aurier. Just kept the ball in play, but he's given it away to João Cancelo here. Mahrez threaded into the path of Gundogan, prodded into Sterling. Back again to the German, De Bruyne, Gundogan, neat little 1-2. Aurier got a foot in. Alderweireld jabbed it away. Cancelo back into De Bruyne, it's a foul. And here's a Manchester City free kick in a really good position from Lo Celso's foul on De Bruyne.
Well, Manchester City getting passes off in areas that you just don't think there's the space. Comes into De Bruyne, he just tries to win the ball through him. Lo Celso, it's a careless foul in such a dangerous area. Been far better just to get his body in and just try and hold De Bruyne up.
Well, Hugo Lloris will need to get this wall right for Spurs. We are approaching the midway point of the first half. The first silverware of the season on the line at Wembley. There's a five and a half man Spurs wall. Lucas Moura is not sure whether to be in it or out of it. He's now in it. So the 6 in a line for Spurs. No one lying on the floor behind it, which has become de rigueur often for free kicks in this kind of range. De Bruyne fancies this one. Here he comes, De Bruyne, and it hit the wall. Might have been Harry Kane who blocked it. Sergio Reguilon has settled for a throw. I think City were a little suspicious that, in fact, it has gone the other way. They felt he'd put it out of play, and indeed that is the verdict.
Well, the ball was straight off the deflection from the wall, wasn't it? I don't think it had another touch before it went out.
No, true. Yeah.
Reguilon was too slow in making his mind up about what he wanted to do with the ball. I think it's just more of like a lack of options, really, isn't it? Because Spurs are defending so much. That is the trouble. When the ball then turns over, it's hard work what Manchester City are doing. The constant movement off the ball to try and create space. It's very difficult when you defend for long periods of time to then keep possession.
No one has played in more League Cup finals than that man, Fernandinho. Sterling. And Laporte was a little bit careless. He dillied and dallied. Lucas Moura took it from him. Laporte fouled him. Spurs want an extra sanction for the City defender, but I don't think they're going to get it.
The referee's been very lenient early on with yellow cards. If that is a foul from Laporte, which it clearly is, it was very sloppy play with him on the ball. I can totally see why Harry Kane and Lucas Moura are speaking to the referee. I mean, there wasn't that much contact, but it's seen as a foul. It's the wrong side of him. Therefore, it's quite cynical. It stops the passage of play moving forwards.
Just saw in that little huddle there, Paul Tierney was pointing in the direction of where the Reguilon foul had happened about 5 minutes ago, and I think he was just saying to the Spurs players, look, I didn't book your fella, I'm not going to book theirs. Leave it to me.
Don't think it works like that anymore. Used to work like that.
Well, I suppose consistency is what we're all after. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Tottenham gave the ball away, and here's a real opportunity for Foden. What a save! What a save by Hugo Lloris to keep Tottenham level. Well, problems all of their own making, Spurs.
Well, it has been playing out from the back has been a real problem for Tottenham in this game, and City fully capitalise. You think this is in when Foden strikes it. It hits the post, doesn't it? Yes. Alderweireld onto the post. Just gets enough in the way to stop it. Cannot believe it.
Well, I was crediting Hugo Lloris for a save he never made, but it is a corner. Firmly headed away by Harry Kane. I bet you Harry Kane's touch map is more in his own half than City's at the moment. It's 2 or 3 headed clearances. That's a poor challenge. Reguilón is not going to get away with that, and the fact he wasn't booked for his earlier one, which both you and I, Matt, thought he was slightly fortunate, means he's still on the pitch.
Yeah, he's had a shaky start to the game, both in and out of possession. Like you say, should already be on a yellow card, and there's no need to go to ground. The moment I saw him launch off his feet, I thought in my head, what is he doing in that area of the pitch? De Bruyne is running towards the corner flag. No need to really commit yourself, just shepherd it out and stay on your feet. He makes a rash decision there. Just shows you he's a little bit rattled at the moment.
Now Spurs will be even more grateful that the referee took a kind view of his earlier challenge. Otherwise they'd be looking at playing Manchester City for some 65 minutes with a man short. As it is, it's goalless at Wembley, and Reguilón is still on. They've got problems though, Tottenham, even with 11. De Bruyne. That might land with Ruben Dias. It did. Lucas Moura's gone over, and there was enough of a touch on Lucas Moura to bring Spurs a free kick.
I just think he was a little bit heavy on him on that touch there. Moura a little bit smaller than Diaz, and he just leant on him. But Guardiola can't believe it. Still 0-0.
Not looking too impressed, Guardiola. Lo Celso forward to Lucas Moura. Here's Højbjerg, now Son. Barely seen the ball, Son Heung-min. He has now. Sergio Reguilón with the overlap. Deflected by Walker to Fernandinho. Fed into the run of Kevin De Bruyne. There's danger here. It's Phil Foden from Manchester City. Gundogan. Fernandinho. Well, I'm just counting the blue shirts in front of Fernandinho. I reckon it was about 8. He ignored them all.
It's a strange choice for him, wasn't it? He's normally that player that really recycles the ball well, picks the right pass, the right option. Just doesn't get that one quite right. But you're right, the counter-attacking from Manchester City, once they win that ball, the confidence they have in each other to maintain possession, that is the belief. Allows them all to press forward, knowing their teammates not going to give the ball away.
Gundogan is caught by Lo Celso, and that's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. Foden. Fernandinho. Sterling might reach this. Well, luckily for Tottenham, there was no one arriving at the back post, because it would only have needed a little tap to put it over the line if there had been.
Well, it's just fantastic. Again, I think this pass is meant for Foden. He's made a good run, but as he overhits it, Sterling continues that run. Just tries to dink it over Lloris. Looks like he's trying to cut it back. I mean, it does go goalward bound, but I think in his mind, he's trying to just chip it into that 6-yard box area for somebody to tap it in. This is the area that makes me nervous for Tottenham at the moment. When they're playing out from goal kicks, he's decided to go long because they've been getting caught in possession so much in their own half.
Half an hour played, mostly City. No goals. Kane has done well and is fouled by Ruben Dias, and that might be a yellow card for Ruben Dias. I mean, he is vehemently saying that he got the ball, and he has a whole host of advocates pleading the case on his behalf as well. We shall see.
I think Paul Tierney's just saying, I don't care, it's from behind. And I think that's the message from the referee. Does he win the ball? Yeah, it looks like it. The slow motion will give a better view. He does get the ball, but the referee will argue that he's made contact with Harry Kane first, and it's from behind, and that warrants the foul.
albeit that he did unbelievably well to actually get a foot on the ball.
In my book, it's a great tackle, but technicalities are it's from behind.
Well, the two coaches are debating that decision. There was no yellow card, by the way. I think Ruben Dias would have been feeling particularly aggrieved if he'd been booked for it. Gundogan, who must be a contender for some of the end-of-season awards, I would have thought. But it's hard to pick out a single City player over the course of a season because they have so many shining lights.
That's one of their real strengths, isn't it? Can come from anywhere in the team on any day.
How's he assessing the 31 minutes he's watched in a managerial career now, Matt, which spans all of 2 hours of football?
Well, I think it must be incredibly hard for him at the moment to try and get his message on. One thing they've stopped doing, though, is playing short out from the back from Lloris. It's causing them a lot of problems. He's opted to kick long again from a goal kick, which I think is the right option. Just get in at half-time. If you can see it over to half-time at 0-0, be a right result for Tottenham going in at the break.
If you don't know the Ryan Mason backstory, he had to retire at the age of 25 after fracturing his skull when playing for Hull City. He'd previously played for Tottenham Hotspur, made 70 appearances for Spurs as a player, one for England as well. And worked with the academy and youth system at Tottenham Hotspur in his fledgling coaching career, which has unexpectedly taken him to the dugout at Wembley.
It's an amazing story, really, isn't it? I think such a tragic injury that he had as a player. I know the amount of time it really took him to recover from that.
Here's Foden. João Cancelo for Manchester City. Hojbjerg away. João Cancelo. Spurs thought it had gone out of play.
It certainly looked like it, didn't it? I thought the ball definitely just rolled over the line there.
Peter Banks is the official on this near side, said no. Here's Kevin De Bruyne back to Walker. João Cancelo into Foden. Walker. They seem to have limitless reserves of patience, Manchester City. João Cancelo, lovely ball. Mahrez, oh, I say. Well, he's capable of that, Riyad Mahrez, and that wasn't far away.
He's one of the best about taking balls like this. I mean, on the half volley, across the pitch, the touch is fantastic. And then to come inside, if that would have been stuck in the far corner, that would have been some goal, it really would. Lovely technique, just doesn't get quite enough whip on it. Maybe if it was on target, Lloris just about had it covered.
Into the last 10 minutes of the first half, and I think that Guardiola will be a little frustrated that City haven't got themselves in front.
I think you'd also be concerned in some way because you're playing against a team that has Harry Kane and Son in it, and in terms of a partnership and what they can deliver for Tottenham, there's always that goal threat in this team. And I think you look at the balance of play, the chances that Manchester City have created, he will start to get a little bit concerned if they don't score.
Gundogan. João Cancelo. It's Alderweireld for Tottenham, but straight back to the City left back. Clipped up towards Foden. Gundogan, De Bruyne, Fernandinho. Riyad Mahrez has another go. Misses by a similar distance, which is not much.
Again, one touch, close passing in such tight areas. Love how Mahrez makes his decision so early. His first touch sets him up for the shot. Knows exactly what he wants to do. He wants to hit that top corner. It's not far away.
Now, Spurs are one of only 3 English clubs to have prevented Manchester City from scoring in a match this season. That was a 2-0 win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and here they come with Son Heung-min, Lucas Moura. Lo Celso, Aurier. Harry Winks. Son's making a run. Alderweireld tries to find him. He's onside Son Heung-min, and he's controlled that neatly. Lucas Moura and Kane in the middle. Serge Aurier here. Son Heung-min came off the back of Laporte's head, and it is a corner to Tottenham Hotspur.
It's a much-needed relief from defending. Son offers that so well. Makes those runs, really well-timed run. Just allows Dyer, Alderweireld to get up.
It's the 4th meeting between these two clubs in this competition, and Spurs have won all the previous 3. And Harry Kane will be thinking, I might just get my head on this corner. It's Giovanni Lo Celso to the near post. Lucas Moura was trying to flick it on. It's come back to Lo Celso. And now City will look to break. It's De Bruyne. Foden. Blocked by Hojbjerg. That was important for Spurs.
Was an important block, wasn't it? Mahrez had gone into the space. De Bruyne just delayed the pass a little bit. Movement from everywhere. This Manchester City team popping up in different areas of the pitch as well.
De Bruyne, look at the ball move. Oh! Raheem Sterling around the back of Eric Dyer. No wonder he gets up and applauds.
Well, this ball is just a centre-back's nightmare. It really is. It's got swerve, dip, bend, just over your head. I mean, there's not much you can do about it. From Eric Dyer's position, he reacts quite well. But Sterling couldn't get any contact on the ball. Such a fantastic creative passer. Kevin De Bruyne is capable of just pulling a pass out of nowhere, really.
City fans feel that Hugo Lloris is taking longer than required. Into the last 5 minutes of normal time now in the first half, 0-0. A trophy which in recent years has been almost the personal property of Manchester City. That's gone out of play. A little stoppage here while the referee's just checking on Toby Alderweireld. There is Daniel Levy, the CEO of Tottenham Hotspur, whose decision it was to dispense with Jose Mourinho. Wonder if Mourinho is watching somewhere.
He's always watching.
Well, City just hoover up trophies. Spurs have had to live on scraps in terms of silverware in recent years. But they have played in the Champions League final, which is something Manchester City have never done. And they beat Manchester City on their way to it, you will recall.
What a Champions League campaign that was, wasn't it? The results and the excitement.
Kyle Walker, slightly awkward spot for him.
Didn't seem confident in playing back to the goalkeeper there, Kyle Walker. Wasn't a lot of pressure coming in the middle of the pitch. Could have just rolled that back to Stefan in goal.
Hugo Lloris. Well, they're almost through to half-time on level terms, but not quite. Kevin De Bruyne. João Cancelo for De Bruyne. Lucas Moura. Darting into a little gap, Lucas Moura, and then taken out by Laporte. Cards coming out here for Aymeric Laporte. Free kick Spurs.
Well, that's a foul that Laporte felt he needed to make. He saw the danger. It's a great driving run from Lucas Moura. Laporte realised the situation, thought, I can't allow him to burst through here. De Bruyne just uncharacteristically gives the ball away, gets a little bit impatient, but the space really was opening up for Tottenham.
And the space down the left side here for Reguilón, who feels he's been fouled by Kyle Walker. Nothing given, despite the scream which you probably heard. Reguilón's right back on his feet and sprinting backwards. Gundogan.
There will be a minimum of 1 minute of additional time.
João Cancelo. Just the 1 minute, or a minimum of 1 minute added time. Mahrez, who's come close twice for Manchester City, picks out João Cancelo. And that's a good save by Hugo Lloris.
Well, Mahrez has been a real danger man, coming inside, finding the pass into Cancelo, and he realises that the goal's blocked with Alderweireld, so he has to go for that near post. Unfortunately for him, Lloris knows that as well and gets across well.
Seconds to go in this first half. Pressure on Spurs. De Bruyne's corner, deep, headed back in towards Gundogan, helped on by Laporte and smashed away. And that is the cue for Paul Tierney to blow his whistle. Manchester City have bossed possession. They've seen Mahrez go close twice. Eric Dyer's made a block in front of his own goal from Sterling. Alderweireld's deflected another one onto his own post. It's been mostly City, but it's all square at half-time. Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
She's definitely left her mark on this game.
Ready?
Football at home with Screwfix, proud partner of the EFL.
Whatever your reason for moving this season, we'll make it our goal to sell your home for the best price possible. This is Andy, local coach and Football Crate's father of four. Andy, Kate, Sam, Dale, Stanley and Rose, and Creed the dog, are looking for a bigger home. They've come to your move, as last year we sold over 12,000 homes for our customers up and down the country, whoever they support. Go online and book a valuation today. Your move, official supporter of the EFL.
Papa John's Trophy. Get your kicks with this real game changer. Want full-on flavors? Then get a slice of the action. And be ready to smash it in like an absolute pro. Big moments just got even tastier. Your game? Order now. Papa John's, official partner of the EFL.
It's your family, your teammates, your squad. This is football. And in football, you are never alone. FIFA 21, win as one.
That's sick.
A smart meter won't revolutionise your day, but it will revolutionise Britain. Helping the nation save more energy and helping you save on your bills too. Not bad for something that's at the back of your cupboard. Smart meters. Join the quiet revolution.
Unbeatable.
And how about that for a shot? What a sensational comeback.
Unmissable.
Oh, it's in the back of the net.
EFL on Quest. Saturday at 9 on Quest or stream on Discovery Plus.
First to 10.
Oh, he slotted it right in.
All right, 1-0.
Football at home with Screwfix, proud partner of the EFL.
10 seconds. Commentary will restart in 10 seconds. Welcome back to Wembley, where Tottenham Hotspur are holding Manchester City. It's goalless after the first 45 minutes of the 2021 Carabao Cup final. Tottenham out of their dressing room first, swiftly followed by Manchester City, who had the lion's share of possession and pretty much all the goal-scoring opportunities, as Dele Alli, Tottenham's substitute, exchanges a joke with Raheem Sterling. But Matt Upps and Ryan Mason will be encouraged by the fact that City haven't taken any of those opportunities.
Oh, he'll be delighted to address his team at half-time, with the score being 0-0 after, like you say, being really outplayed for most of that opening 45 minutes. And he just knows that if they can hang in there, they've always got a goal in this team. When you've got Harry Kane and Son in the lineup, there can always be a goal out of nowhere.
Guardiola deep in thought. So Paul Tierney, our referee, glances at his wristwatch. It'll be Tottenham Hotspur in their change strip from right to left in the second 45 minutes. Remember that if needs be, we can go to extra time, and we can go beyond that into penalties, should it be required. It's Reguilon with the first throw-in of the second half into the pretty much ever-present Hotspur. Lo Celso trying to wriggle through. And here's Son, and Spurs have started the second half moving towards Stefan and the City goal. Aurier. Given away by Raheem Sterling to Lucas Moura. Now here's a little area for Harry Kane to work in, and he's found Son. Hotspur. That pass inviting Aurier forward. And a chance to get a curling shot away, which is tipped around as Lo Celso went for it. Stefan down to his right-hand side. It's a Spurs corner.
Well, it's the first piece of action that Stefan's really had to deal with. It's not a bad effort. Curling into that bottom corner from Lo Celso with his left foot. It's on target. It's actually a really good save. Ball just bounces in front of him as well. Touches it round the post really well.
Got loads of curl, Lo Celso. And now they have a corner, Tottenham, which Son is going to take. City have pulled everybody back. And it goes with pace. It might almost drop to Eric Dyer in there, but City have cleared. And now they charge forward with Raheem Sterling looking up and finding Foden. Pass from Sterling maybe just lacked a little bit of pace. Foden to Mahrez, De Bruyne to his right-hand side. Kevin De Bruyne here, heavy touch. And then a swipe from De Bruyne. And it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. De Bruyne caught Reguilon here. It's not like him, a heavy touch.
It was a heavy touch, just when you thought you were going to see that De Bruyne special, that first-time whip across the face of the goal. He sees the chance open up.
It's Lo Celso, isn't it?
Yes, Lo Celso goes to ground and he just catches him. There's not a lot of intent there. I think he has a right to go for the ball. He just didn't pull out of it quick enough. He catches Lo Celso.
Well, there was an incident in a Premier League game yesterday when West Ham defender Balbuena was sent off for a follow-through.
It's pretty remarkable, wouldn't it?
So I have to say that Balbuena on Chilwell was a bit of a meatier contact than that one was from De Bruyne on Lo Celso.
Well, De Bruyne definitely felt Lo Celso made a meal of it. I think he was almost looking at him as if to say, really? I mean, I barely touched you. OK, I might have just clipped you on the swing, but you're right, there was a bit more meat on the tackle yesterday.
Encouragement for Spurs, though. He'll be pleased with how they've started the second half. This is Laporte for Manchester City. João Cancelo can't quite pick out the run of Raheem Sterling. Pass just had a little bit too much on it. We're not far away from the European Championships, Matt, are we? Do you think Sterling's recent form is a little bit of a concern for Gareth Southgate? I mean, I'm sure he's written in black ink in his squad, but Sterling has lost his way a little bit.
I think it is a concern, for sure. I think, you know, form going into tournaments like that is everything. And Raheem Sterling, by his own admissions, hasn't had the best of seasons. So I'm sure it's something that Gareth Southgate is monitoring closely.
Here's Walker. Fernandinho. Højbjerg got a good foot in. That's what he does, the Dane. He just breaks things up, and Kane turns well. Kane only had 10 touches in the first half. It's a decent looking ball. It's a very good looking ball to Serge Aurier. Harry Winks. Well, an acrobatic attempt from Serge Aurier to reach that, but he needed a stepladder and a trampoline. Lovely dink ball by Gundogan to João Cancelo. Here's De Bruyne, and Foden can't reach that. Not sure whether Foden would have been on or offside.
It was tight, wasn't it? So much is the run of Foden. De Bruyne knows exactly where he wants to float the ball. Just overhit it a little bit.
So Manchester City throw in. Ruben Dias. Spurs are keeping City at arm's length at the moment, but doing so cautiously. Mahrez claims a foul, he hasn't got it. Spurs throw. And Harry Kane. It's good position for Lo Celso. I wonder if he's going to have another pop at goal. Finds Kane. Not much of an angle for the Spurs centre-forward, and dispossessed cleanly by João Cancelo. Lovely first touch from Foden. Fernandinho. Walker will feed Riyad Mahrez. Three in the middle for Riyad Mahrez, who cuts inside Reguilon, cuts outside Reguilon, and then all the pace taken off it by Eric Dyer.
That really is the difficult thing when you face Riyad Mahrez in these situations as a fullback. You know he wants to get onside onto his left foot, but you cannot overcompensate too much, because he's just as happy to chop back onto his right as well. He feints so well, but Eric Dyer does a good job as a centre-back, just gets out, helps Reguilón, gets a block in, but Mahrez driving into the box from that right-hand side is such a dangerous thing.
It's be a free kick. Just catching Fernandinho, Son Heung-min. Gundogan forward, Raheem Sterling. Sterling! We've seen him put those away. He's transformed his ability to score goals from when he was a raw teenager coming through the ranks at Anfield, where it seemed at times he needed 3 or 4 chances to score.
Yeah, it certainly was the one part of his game that was lacking. The idea was there, confidence to drive into the box, just leaning back a little bit too much, just lifted the ball too high. Do you think he'll be concerned? I think he might be.
Yes, approaching the hour mark. But then again, Guardiola looks concerned if a pass goes astray when they're 4-0 up in the 90th minute.
True.
He's a seeker of perfection.
Well, their game's been very, very good today, but it hasn't been perfect, that's for sure. They're still at 0-0, having dominated massive chunks of the first half.
Well, 10 minutes have gone by in the second, and Spurs have done pretty well in that 10 minutes, and there's an error by Kyle Walker, and Spurs will have a throw-in.
I mean, of course, no out-and-out number 9 or goal scorer in the team today for Manchester City. I say goal scorer, they have got players that can score goals, but not that out-and-out poacher in the 18-yard box.
Sergio Aguero is amongst the substitutes for Manchester City, hoping for a big grandstand farewell to his career with them, and what a career it's been. Højbjerg's given it away to Gundogan. Fernandinho. De Bruyne. Foden. Sterling. Beautifully done. And into the gloves of Hugo Lloris, which was just as well, because that was very nicely conceived by City.
But again, very nice, lovely flowing football. Movement, passing, weight of pass, the running. Just not that finish on the end of it.
Spurs have given the ball to Sterling here. Gundogan. Tottenham will be happy that that didn't come back to bite them. They were a little bit careless. There he is, Aguero. And here comes Harry Kane, finding Son Heung-min. Lo Celso. Lucas Moura. Son's done well. Serge Aurier. Oh, good play again by João Cancelo. That's good defending. Foden, it was tight. He got it round the corner to De Bruyne, but he was fouled by Winks.
It's a fabulous first touch from Phil Foden there, under pressure. Laporte really wrapped the ball into him, bouncing up. Just took the ball with his first touch so well.
De Bruyne. Ruben Dias looking for Riyad Mahrez. Harry Kane. It's fallen to Hotspur. Fernandinho stripped him. The card's coming out here for Fernandinho.
Well, it was never in doubt once the foul was made. It's very fortunate the way the ball just popped out here to Hotspur. And Fernandinho, as he runs across the back of him, makes a little bit of contact, trips him up. It's definitely a yellow card.
That's 2 in the book for City, 1 for Spurs. Laporte, the other City player, Sergio Reguilón for Tottenham.
The referee's let a fair bit slide though, hasn't he? You have to say he's been quite lenient, hasn't wanted to dish out the yellow card too early.
Spurs fans making a really good noise, but Aurier making a bit of a hash of that, and here's Raheem Sterling, and he stayed on his feet. Serge Aurier was nipping at his heels there.
You're almost wondering whether or not Sterling was just hoping that Aurier would make a reckless tackle, kept driving with the ball in the box, maybe the pass was on.
Here goes Son. Son charging forward for Tottenham, and then it's a poor ball which was read by João Cancelo. And he feeds Riyad Mahrez. Foden. João Cancelo again here for Manchester City, clipped in towards Sterling, out by Reguilón, just too high for Raheem Sterling, but Mahrez has retrieved it. He floats it up towards Gundogan, who couldn't quite get over it.
Well, I think Gundogan did well just to get his head on the end of this. Another lovely piece of play from Cancelo, who's got more and more advanced in this game, tries to dink it to the back post. Mahrez keeps it alive. And there you see Gundogan just ghosts into box, but he has to break his stride. He's always backpedaling, very, very difficult to head the ball down and on target from that position.
Well, it feels like Spurs have had more of the ball in the first 15 minutes of the second half than they had for much of the first. But how exhausting mentally and physically do you think, Matt, it is to play against a side like Manchester City?
Well, they can grind you down, for sure. I agree that Tottenham have come out in this second half. It's been a far more balanced game. I mean, Harry Kane's probably touched the ball more times in this opening 15 minutes of the second half than he did the whole of the 45 of the first. So they've made positive steps, but you're absolutely right. They just wear you out, Manchester City. And I don't think they're going to stop.
This is Mahrez. Activity on the Spurs bench. I can see from here that Gareth Bale has been called over to take his yellow bib off as he's been warming up. Spurs are more concerned with what's happening on the pitch as they try and come forward now with Harry Kane, and Son is ahead of him. Has Hotspur to his left, Lucas Moura over to the right. Reguilón's made a great run as well. Kane feeds Hotspur. Hotspur for Tottenham. Oh dear, oh dear. He's absolutely furious with Reguilón. Well, it never came to pass, but it was potentially Tottenham's best chance of the game, and Harry Kane is rubbing his knee.
Well, hopefully for Spurs, that's just a knock from Harry Kane. Does so well with the ball here, holds on to it, delays the pass, drives with the ball, releases it, perfect time to Hotspur, and he's just gambling on Reguilón, just continuing that run. Can't believe he hasn't just kept going and kept going. That's what the pass was for, into the stride. But he just puts the brake on. Reguilón doesn't continue. The ball rolls harmlessly out of play.
It's going to be a free kick to Manchester City here. João Cancelo has been left in a heap. Lucas Moura is the man with whom Paul Tierney is going to want to talk. His studs just got caught in the turf, didn't he, when the impact came?
Well, Moura catches him as his foot's planted. Can cause a bit of damage, them ones.
He's been very good second half, actually, defensively and offensively, hasn't he?
He's come alive, hasn't he? Going forwards for sure on that left-hand side.
It's Raheem Sterling. This final is now very, very deliciously poised. 63 played, 0-0. João Cancelo recovered from that knock, finds Gundogan. Sterling makes a run. Instead it goes to Foden. Now it goes to Sterling. Back to Foden. Gundogan. Riyad Mahrez won't get onto it. Spurs changes. As you can see, Gareth Bale and Moussa Sissoko are going to be coming on for Tottenham shortly. Well, talking about potential match winners in the Tottenham side, Matt, and obviously, you know, you talk about Kane, you talk about Son. If Bale comes on as well, then that's certainly another one. Gundogan keeps it from Son.
Referee again, just letting it go. Spurs players aren't happy. Felt there was a foul on Lucas Moura there.
It's Gundogan. Well cut out by Lucas Moura. Aurier tussling with Sterling, no foul. Harry Kane looking for Son. Kane's Son radar was switched on as usual. Hojbjerg back to Son Heung-min. "25 minutes to go. Harry Winks. I thought Kyle Walker had chosen the wrong option there, but got away with it. It's time for a double change. Lucas Moura is coming off. Gareth Bale is coming on. He's worked really hard, Lucas Moura. And Moussa Sissoko is going to be coming on too. And he is replacing Giovanni Lo Celso.
It's an interesting change from Ryan Mason, I have to say. It's replacing Lo Celso with Sissoko. Very much a powerful driving runner. It's going to bring a little bit more physicality to that Tottenham midfield.
It'll be interesting to see. It looks like Gareth Bale is going to play on the right of that front three, and Sissoko is going to slot into the right side of the middle three.
It's a bit more of probably a 4-3-3, isn't it? With Sissoko in there. He won't be quite as advanced as maybe what Lo Celso was.
João Cancelo just getting there ahead of Moussa Sissoko. We're halfway through the second half, it's goalless. This is turning out to be a really, really good final. Gundogan. It's utterly absorbing this game now, because tension and tiredness begin to play a part soon. João Cancelo whipping it from left to right to find Riyad Mahrez. Put behind by Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg.
It's just Mahrez bringing that ball down again like it's a stroll in the park. His first touch from long passes when it's half kind of bouncing in front of him, so confident, just sets him up to do whatever he wants with the ball afterwards.
Would you agree he's raised his game a bit this season, Riyad Mahrez? Competition with coming in from Ferran Torres and so on. De Bruyne behind for a goal kick, some relief to Spurs. And Mahrez has answered that challenge and been terrific this season.
I agree. You'd have to say that he's in the starting lineup if they have to pick a team to win a game. Mahrez is starting on that right-hand side. His weight of pass and crossing, decision-making's got better and better, as it would do around great players like Kevin De Bruyne.
Manchester City supporters based around Tottenham Hotspur, the same. City, of course, knocked out their local rivals Manchester United in the semi-final. They swept away Arsenal in the quarter-final. Spurs actually only had to play 3 games to get to the final. They got a bye in round 3 because of a COVID outbreak at Leyton Orient, beat Chelsea on penalties, Stoke in the last 8 and Brentford in the semis. Their route here has been a little easier than City's. De Bruyne, Foden in the middle, so was Eric Dyer. City corner though. Foden's delivery, Ruben Diaz. De Bruyne, that's a lovely looking ball and a good take. Really good take by Hugo Lloris. Fernandinho didn't have to break stride, though the angle was tough.
Well, you just knew that Kevin De Bruyne was going to whip this first time. It's a fantastic ball. Fernandinho gets there, heads it down, but Lloris does well to hold on to it.
Harry Winks, the fulcrum now of the Spurs middle 3. Højbjerg. Just too high for Gareth Bale. Fernandinho into Gundogan. He's timed that pass beautifully for Sterling. Sterling with time to have a look to see who's arriving. Gundogan wide of the post. Lightning City break. Gundogan can't get it on target.
Well, he's going to wonder how many more brilliant setups are Manchester City going to have in this game. The passing, the movement, the running, lovely weight of pass, a little bit wide for Sterling there, but he comes inside, he then picks Gundogan out again. And how many times have we seen him hit the target this season from that position? He arrives brilliantly on his left foot, just needs to hit the target and just mistimes it.
That's Walker keeping it away from Son. Bale, Kane, Sissoko. Ruben Diaz with Gareth Bale, it came off Bale. Trophyless in English football, Gareth Bale. Certainly not trophyless in his career. That ball is just asking a question of Reguilón as Mahrez picks up pace and cuts inside. It's a great run by Mahrez! Brilliant save by Lloris. Sterling keeps it alive, has he? No, it's a corner. Great save by Hugo Lloris.
Well, again, Mahrez cutting into that on that left foot. He loves this position. Just goes and goes. Once he steps inside there, the one thing Lloris does know, he knows he's going in that corner. But take nothing away. It's a good save. It's a decent bit of power, gets a strong hand on the ball.
Corner kick is headed by Sissoko on to Fernandinho, and Tottenham Hotspur have a goal kick. Gabriel Jesus rooted to his seat still. And Sergio Aguero keeping warm in the hope of getting himself on the pitch. ...258 goals for Manchester City, Sergio Aguero. Hotspur. Toby Alderweireld up forward, looking for Son Heung-min. Kyle Walker. Does a great job, Hotspur.
He's so defensive, isn't he? He really does play that role in that Tottenham midfield. Never really gets in advance of the ball, but whenever there's a defensive situation, certainly backs up the back four really well. I mean, there's a reason why he's thrived so well this season at Tottenham. He's been one of their key players, really, Hotspur. Suited the style that Mourinho's played and the way that Tottenham have played.
Well, there are 14 minutes to go. Just to remind you, Manchester City have the first leg of the Champions League semi-final in Paris on Wednesday, and Pep Guardiola might just be beginning to think now that, rather like a tax return, extra time, something you don't want, but it might be coming soon.
I find it hard to believe that there hasn't been more substitutions from Manchester City by this stage. He really has just stuck with it in the hope they will make some of those chances and the pressure pay.
Here's Kane. Can they, Tottenham Hotspur? Kane looks for Son. Lets it go. Reguilon's there. Reguilon's taking on Walker. Walker lent into him. And Reguilon has gone down, not for the first time. And has got nothing. And City will put the ball out of play.
Well, judging from the scream I heard earlier in the game from Reguilon, I'm not too sure if he's that badly hurt from this challenge. For me, it's just Walker out-muscles him. He does stamp on his leg accidentally during the tackle. I certainly don't think it's a foul. I think Walker's just too strong for him in that position.
Well, Spurs by convention will give the ball back here after Manchester City put the ball out so that Reguilon could be checked upon. "12 minutes to go. Ruben Dias. Cleared away by Toby Alderweireld up for Tottenham.
Well read from Alderweireld there. Sensed the danger. Sensed that ball just getting played inside the fullback and drifted across.
Manchester City are preparing Rodri. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Ruben Dias. João Cancelo. Oh, De Bruyne has lost it, and Sissoko nicks it away for Tottenham Hotspur. Feeds Harry Kane. They've got 5 in this attack. Now Spurs. Kane is taking a long and winding route. Looks for Son, headed away by Ruben Dias. And City have the ball again. Seemed to get caught between two minds, Harry Kane.
Well, I think he was just waiting for support. He didn't see an immediate pass that really did make his mind up. So he just wanted more runners, more people in advance. But of course, just allowed more Manchester City shirts to get back.
And here's Phil Foden. João Cancelo. Walker. Foden. João Cancelo's cross, good header by Eric Dyer. Admirable calm from Hotspur. Cleared away only as far as Laporte. City squeezing Spurs into their own final third now. Raheem Sterling. Sterling is fouled by Aurier. Free kick to Manchester City.
Just a little bit of frustration there. You think from Aurier, lost his discipline. There's not much space to work with for Manchester City here. Tottenham are all back. He's just got to bide his time. Serge Aurier doesn't have to try and win it there. Gives away the foul.
Rodri will be on shortly, but not whilst they have this attacking free kick. With 9 minutes to go. Somebody's leaving here today with the three-handled League Cup trophy. Who will it be? Up go the head, so it's in! Laporte has scored for Manchester City. Aymeric Laporte. Manchester City lead. And are they going to win this Carabao Cup 4 seasons in succession? And for all the mesmeric complexity of Manchester City's football for much of the game, in the end, it's a free kick into the box and a header from close range.
It all comes down to that discipline from Serge Aurier as well. Giving that free kick away, doesn't need to, but it gives Manchester City the opportunity to put a ball in the box. And Laporte doesn't disappoint. He just attacks it more. Sissoko's marking him, he gets above him. The big centre-back, it's a towering header, glances it perfectly, even with Hojbjerg on the back post. It's a perfect header. He'll be absolutely delighted.
Manchester City have the lead with fewer than 8 minutes of this final to play. And Manchester City are making the change. It's the man who started the game with the captain's armband who is making way, Fernandinho, who may be making history today. No player has ever won this trophy 6 times. He has 5 wins, and he makes way for Rodri, and Hojbjerg is coming off for Tottenham Hotspur, and Dele Alli is coming on. Spurs need to score, and they need to score quickly.
Well, that switch would clearly indicate that, wouldn't it? Højbjerg off, Ali on. Let's see if he can come up with something special. You mentioned earlier in the commentary about how Manchester City may just wear you down, but it's those situations, that lack of, or shall I say, lapse of concentration from Serge Aurier to make that tackle in that moment. It's those little parts of the game that make up the bigger picture. And they've certainly been under a lot of pressure here today, Spurs.
Is it going to be disappointment in another final for Tottenham Hotspur? Here's Laporte. His only other goal this season was in the quarter-final at the Emirates against Arsenal. His goal might win the final. There's De Bruyne powering onto it and cutting inside, and De Bruyne goes on. Great block by Alderweireld. Sterling couldn't quite pick out Riyad Mahrez. That would have finished it.
I couldn't believe that Alderweireld got back. I just thought De Bruyne was going to get that shot off. It was a fantastic block from the Tottenham centre-back.
Spurs have basically gone kind of 4-2-3-1 now, with Sissoko on the right-hand side of the three, but here's Raheem Sterling down the other end. Sterling cuts inside, Dyer, good block by Eric Dyer. Well, they're going to play a dangerous game, Spurs, but they have no choice. No choice.
They're going to have to leave the centre-backs isolated a little bit, but they've coped quite well with it, you have to say, so far in this game. Both Dyer and Alderweireld got a couple of really important blocks in each.
Eric Dyer. Into the last 5 minutes, unless Spurs can find an equaliser. And Sissoko here, Aurier rather, with a cross into the box, which was blocked by Aymeric Laporte, collected by Gareth Bale. Here's Son Heung-min into Reguilon, stretching to try and deliver a cross under pressure from Kyle Walker. City clear. And Bernardo Silva's going to be coming on for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne makes way. He's been every bit as good as you expect him to be.
He's been outstanding, both in and out of possession. His work rate, just right to the end there. The way he drove forward with the ball to nearly score. Captain's performance from him as he passes the armband on again.
So Bernardo Silva comes on for Kevin De Bruyne, and Manchester City are within touching distance. And it's careless. It's the last thing Spurs need.
It's an area of their game that just hasn't quite been up to scratch, that ability to play out and keep possession, but it's not like a switch, you just can't turn it on and off, and they've had quite a defensive style most of the season, so to start playing out from the back is quite challenging.
It's Hugo Lloris, Gareth Bale. Sterling will chase this. It's going to be a corner kick to Manchester City. The attendance at Wembley today, 7,773, but there'll be many tens of thousands more who'd love to be here. They're a lucky 7,773.
It's really made a difference as well, hasn't it? It's been great to have the supporters back in the stadium, get that genuine crowd noise.
Manchester City's corner kick. Laporte's header. Oof. Not too far away from a double for Laporte.
Just thought Lloris was scrambling for a moment there. Didn't look like he was too comfortable with that one.
Spaces now for City to exploit. Bernardo Silva's fresh legs finds Riyad Mahrez. Bernardo Silva. Dyer in the way. Gundogan, Rodri, goal scorer Laporte. Sterling to Rodri. Steven Bergwijn's going to be coming on for Tottenham Hotspur. Very little time for the Dutchman to make an impression. He scored on his Tottenham debut in a victory over Manchester City a couple of seasons ago. And Aurier's coming off.
It's been a tough afternoon for Aurier. Both full-backs from Tottenham been under immense pressure most of the game.
It's all about how much added time there's going to be now. Long forward from Alderweireld, Laporte's header to Walker. Mahrez winks for Tottenham. Dele Alli's lost it. Riyad Mahrez advances. We're into a minimum of 3 added minutes. That's how close Manchester City are. Riyad Mahrez. Bernardo Silva. Rodri. João Cancelo. Gundogan, Foden. Gundogan sneaking it into Foden. Lovely feet from Foden. Really good block by Toby Alderweireld.
They're just not interested in keeping the ball in the corner flag, Manchester City. They want another goal. Some of their football in the 18-yard box has been so good today, so tight, such little
City's
space.
Pursuit of a second has potentially allowed Tottenham to counter and have an attack, but that might be the last one. And City now with Raheem Sterling. No thought of heading for the corner flag. Sterling teases Alderweireld and loses it.
They've done really well in those situations, Alderweireld today, especially those 1v1s. He's coped really well.
Now, what will Pep Guardiola be saying if Spurs go down the other end and score in this last 90 seconds? City could have headed for the corner quadrant and done the metaphorical equivalent of sitting on the ball, or even the physical sitting on the ball. I think George Best once did that, but not in their style. That's a foul. Sissoko on Gundogan.
That's a perfect area of the pitch just to kill the game off. Take your time, set the ball up. No need to rush.
Well, Ryan Mason looks considerably calmer than Pep Guardiola at this point. Perhaps it's a calm resignation.
One experience for him, though. Ryan Mason, he set the team up well. I think they've hung in the game all the way through to now, really. They've given themselves a chance. That's all you can ask for.
João Cancelo looking for Foden. 3 minutes were indicated, and we're nearly there. Foden for Manchester City. In behind Foden, lays it square to Riyad Mahrez. Offside. Flag goes up the moment Mahrez puts it in the back of the net. VAR will double check the offside.
Yeah, the delay, you just have to wait. The linesman has to wait so long. Foden clearly drifts offside.
3 minutes are up. Paul Tierney blows his whistle, and Manchester City have done it for the 4th season running. Manchester City are the winners of the Carabao Cup 8 times in their history. Both of those are record equalling achievements for Pep Guardiola, who has just pocketed yet another piece of silverware. It's City's Cup. They've beaten Tottenham Hotspur by a 0-0, Matt Upson, and what a terrific final it was. Spurs played their part in it, but the better side has won it.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic game of football, a great final, but Manchester City's dominance was there right from the kick-off. Brilliant, slick football, lovely play, and to win it with a header from the centre-back, it just shows you can have all that, but the centre-backs won it for them with a set piece after all that glorious football. And Pep Guardiola, quite rightly, with his players, all of the Man City players celebrating. It's a great achievement.
And in a year in which nothing has seemed normal, we learn that some things never change. Manchester City have won the League Cup. They've beaten Tottenham Hotspur by 1-0. So the celebrations from Manchester City, Carabao Cup winners once again. It is an extraordinary achievement, Matt Upson, that they have made this trophy their own in the way they have over the last few seasons.
Well, the team selection today indicated how badly they wanted it, and the performance didn't disappoint. Okay, it wasn't filled with goals, but the way they played, the way they set about the game, the control that they showed through large spells of the match just indicated what it means to them. And I think that dominance really does shine through.
Son Heung-min experiences the pain and disappointment of defeat in a final again for Tottenham Hotspur, Champions League loser, of course. But Manchester City have now won this trophy in 6 of the last 8 years. And that is some achievement. And you can see what it means. The best team in the land this season by a distance have the first silverware of this season. And they will very much think that there will be more to come. A tiring 90 minutes for them, and they have a huge game coming up in Paris on Wednesday. But there's nothing like winning, and there's nothing like winning a cup.
Nothing like boosting the confidence, is there, into such a big game. I think it's important they got it tidied up within the 90 minutes as well. Really important for Pep Guardiola.
Well, Guardiola has now won this trophy himself 4 times. Twice a Premier League winner with Manchester City. A third is surely to come. He's won the FA Cup here in a final in which they destroyed Watford. No one was destroyed today, that's for sure. And Pep Guardiola, I'm sure, will take a moment at some point to have a word with his opposite number today. There it is, 4 times. 4 times. And I'm quite sure that Pep Guardiola will find a moment for Ryan Mason, because the losing manager here is part of the story of the day at 29 years old to lead a team out at Wembley. And even in defeat, I think he can be proud with how Tottenham play.
Absolutely. I think he set the team up well. They were very difficult to play against at times because Manchester City was so good and they hung in their Spurs. I think the 2 centre-backs got some really important challenges in. They managed to cope, kept their head above water, and to go in 0-0 at half-time was a really good achievement. And the second half was far more even. They had their own little flurries into the box, but the dominance of Manchester City was just too much.
I think you can see some element of disappointment in the face of Sergio Aguero. Of course, he will enjoy the fact that his club have won this trophy yet again. He'll be a bit disappointed that he hasn't got on the pitch today. 5 times He has played in League Cup finals, winning. And of course his time in England is coming to an end, unless of course he surprises everyone by signing for another English club. But what about Guardiola? I mean, when he came, wherever he goes, of course you think that trophies are a guarantee, but then Tottenham might have felt that when they hired Mourinho. Guardiola has proved that he is still unstoppable.
It's the way they've achieved it as well, isn't it? Talk about winning trophies, but he wins them in a way that's also so entertaining, flowing football. To start the game with no out-and-out number 9 when you've got 2 on the bench just shows you the belief he has in his system, in the way the players buy into how they control the game. So impressive to watch.
Son Heung-min is inconsolable at the moment. Well, for every joyous smile, there is sadness in a final, and you can't help but feel that 1 or 2 of these Tottenham players may have big decisions ahead once this season is done and dusted. Do they stick around in search of doing something special with this club, who found it so difficult to break what is a 13-year run now without silverware, knowing that another year has gone by, another year of their career? But that's for another day, and that's for Tottenham Hotspur to be involved in those decisions. But for Manchester City, well, why would you not want to hang around? I thought Riyad Mahrez was outstanding today, Matt. I thought that we might get a majestic winner crafted by a piece of brilliant chess like football, but you know what, if you knock a good ball into the penalty area and send a centre-half up, you still have a chance.
It's the same end outcome, isn't it? Ball hits the back of the net, and I think at that moment in the game Pep Guardiola would not care how it went in. Of course he wants that type of goal you mentioned, and the amount of times Mahrez came inside on that left foot, you fancied as sooner or later he's going to bend one into the top corner. But it was Aymeric Laporte with that towering header into the back post, which has won it.
Well, Manchester City have normally, of course, bagged this trophy earlier in the year. It's normally late February, it's late April in 2021. They've been made to wait, but they've won it nonetheless. And there's your match winner, Aymeric Laporte. 2 goals in this season's competition. He's saved his 2 goals of the campaign for this cup. Well, Hugo Lloris might go home and have a look at his World Cup winners' medal later just to cheer himself up.
Might just soften the blow a little bit.
Well, the normal cup final protocol, of course, is still put on hold. No walk up the flights of steps to the royal box, no lifting that trophy from high on the balcony of the 3rd tier of Wembley. It's a rather sad way to pick up a loser's medal and take it off a tray. And Tottenham Hotspur and their search for a trophy goes on. But they've acquitted themselves well on the day. Feel for Son. You were saying earlier today, before we came on air, Matt, he's an emotional player.
Yeah.
He's an emotional man.
Yeah, emotional player. And sometimes football's a lot of highs and lows. You've got to be careful that it doesn't take you too high or too low at any one time. And he certainly does look really, really beaten. I think he'd be maybe a bit disappointed just with the lack of attacking football that Tottenham played. They weren't really able to get into their rhythm, and he probably didn't impact the game, which he knows he can. And I think he's such a consistent performer for Tottenham. That look in his face says it all.
And Manchester City advance to pick up their medals. Another one for the collection. Riyad Mahrez comes forward. He has been named the Alan Hardacre Man of the Match, named after a former Secretary of the Football League whose idea this competition was. Phil Foden, 20 years old. There'll be many more medals and trophies, I'm sure, in his career. Zinchenko, who didn't get on. Kevin De Bruyne, who was brilliant. Aguero. I'll take one of those, thank you. John Stones, who was suspended for the final, having been sent off against Aston Villa in the Premier League in midweek. And finally, Fernandinho, who has now become the only man in the history of this competition to play on the winning side in 6 finals. And he did it with the captain's armband high up on his left arm. And there could be no better person than Fernandinho to lift the Carabao Cup yet again for Manchester City.
ladies and gentlemen, one more time, your appreciation for the 2021 Carabao Cup winners, Manchester City! The EFL and Carabao Energy Drink would like to thank all clubs who played a part in making this year's competition memorable. Congratulations once again to today's winners, City. We hope you've had a great day back with us at Wembley Stadium. Please stay safe as you're leaving the stadium, and we look forward to welcoming you back again very, very soon.